You are listening to a Dynamic Works Productions podcast. This show is available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio Network, and many, many more podcast services around the world. You can find all our content, music, videos, books, podcasts, and more on our website, www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Have questions, comments, or concerns for us? Head on over to the social tab on www.dynamicworksproductions.com if you'd like to talk to us. Now, on with the show. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of the Fork in Your Ear podcast of 2018. I'm your host, as always, author, podcaster, gamer, and a little bit under the weather, Tim, K.A. Trotter. Joining me from across the continental United States is the one, the only, the Buster of Knuckles, Mike List.
Happy New Year!
Yeah, it's not so great for me.
How's it going, Tim?
Oh, it's better than it was, but I started off the new year by breaking a tooth and getting sick.
Oh.
Like, day one of 2018, it's just like, here's some shit. And I was like, are you kidding me? So the tooth is still broken. I'm scheduled on the 12th to get all sorts of fucked up on that one. Got to get one of them old root canals.
Ooh.
Lovely, lovely times. So I'm really looking forward to that. But on the other hand, I've got a broken tooth, and it's like I saw the X-ray, and it's like close, like, you can see the nerve in the tooth.
Oh no.
And it's like, it's not exposed. I've had exposed nerves before. I know what that pain is like. Believe me, I would be just nonstop drinking and shoving lidocaine or whatever the fuck the over-the-counter cane is. If the nerve
I've had
exposed.
one too. It's not fun.
Yeah, it's. I would argue it's probably the second worst pain below
Kidney stones?
Below a kidney stone. Kidney stone is
No joke.
Yeah, kidney stone is like nerve is like single focal point of pain, so blinding you can barely stand. Whereas kidney stone is your whole fucking body.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the perfect way to put it. That's exactly it.
Mm-hmm. That's basically the things. So, how was your New Year, first of all?
My New Year was good. I had to work New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was off New Year's Eve. I had to work New Year's Day. And that's a part of why my New Year was okay. Because on New Year's Eve, I ate my last complex carb. I had my last carb up.
Okay.
I am now firmly and deeply into the ketogenic diet, and
I didn't know it had a further name. I just knew it as the. I thought you were calling it the keto diet.
Yeah, keto.
Oh, okay,
that's the shortened name for it.
Yeah, how's that diet going?
Fantastic, actually. The first day with relearning how to eat was tough.
Mm-hmm.
Because you gotta think no carbs. I'm that dude that looks at carbs. That's basically what I am now.
Okay.
I'm so into this thing.
So you're keto, you're counting carbs.
Yes.
And what are you eating the rest of the time?
Fats, a lot of fat, and a lot of protein. And a little bit of protein, I should say. Not a lot. Maybe moderate would be the best way to put it.
Okay. And isn't it like specific kinds of fat?
Yes, it's like animal fats, healthy fats.
Okay,
I
what the hell is considered a healthy fat?
like avocado, egg, stuff like that.
Okay.
It's
So run me through a day of eating on this diet of yours.
I get up in the morning. I go into the kitchen. I cook 2 eggs. I do over easy. That's just how I like them. You can do them however you would like.
Mm-hmm.
Several slices of bacon, a
Okay.
couple sausages, an
So you're allowed to do
avocado.
bacon.
Yes, it's an animal fat.
Okay.
A lot of, let me see what else. Avocado, I said. Maybe some like sauteed spinach.
Okay.
And then for lunch, I'll do maybe like a cheeseburger with no bun, mayonnaise, a little salad, and then dinner, maybe a chicken thigh with, I can season pretty much however I want. I usually do Cajun
Mm-hmm.
with broccoli
Okay.
and maybe like a cauliflower mash.
Okay.
That's that's it. That's what I do. That's how I eat. Drink water. What else can I drink that I realized just now? I could drink Powerade Zeros because there's
Okay.
no sugar. You basically keep the sugar down. That's how it works.
Okay. So no carbs and no sugar, essentially, is a keto diet.
Yes.
Okay.
Under 20 carbs.
Okay. So now I'm aware of what you look like. You're not a chunky man.
No, no, I'm not.
So why are you doing this?
Because apparently what happens when you get into this is you get a lot more energy because you go from burning carbs, which is a quick burning but
Right.
dirty fuel,
Right.
to fat, which is like jet fuel, pure jet fuel.
Mm, okay.
You get mental focus, clarity, stuff like that. Um, yeah.
Okay.
The
Okay.
problem is you get a little sick, not like vomiting, but you feel like crap because you're detoxing from sugar.
Mm.
And that happened to me day 2.
Oh, okay.
And now I'm started on the 1st. Today's the 6th. 6 days in.
Hmm. Well, that sounds interesting and also kind of hard to do.
It's a little difficult, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But when I started it, I was hold on. I took a picture because you got to be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
It was 174 pounds,
Okay.
and today I'm 165.
Wow. It's only been 6 days.
Yeah,
That's insane.
yeah.
Wow.
And I mean,
Interesting.
I can feel the energy
Uh-huh.
coming. Uh, One of the things they tell you about is that your breath will smell weird when you start going into ketosis because your body's you're putting out a different chemical composition essentially,
Weird. Okay.
and the mental clarity comes last is what they say.
Okay.
As long as I don't eat a carb,
Do
as
you
long as I don't go over.
do you have your mental clarity yet? I
It's
guess.
coming.
Fair enough.
It just feels sharper is the way I put it. Like you feel like like you remember when Neo sees
Oh
the
yeah.
Matrix for the first time.
Of course.
That's how I
I've told you that The Matrix was, and I'm definitely an old enough kid to have grown up with the original Star Wars trilogy, but
Mhm.
I know um, there's sort of a thing on the internet that talks about how The Matrix is some people's like Star Wars,
Yeah.
and the first Matrix I had on DVD and I played on the original Xbox with that stupid fucking DVD adapter that you had to have to play the DVDs, which was retarded. And I played it on repeat for I don't know about a year. I'm surprised the fucking disk drive didn't burn up.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
And so not now because it's been a long time, but for like, I don't know, maybe 5 years after that, I could recite that movie line for line.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So,
So
of
you
course,
get
I
into it.
fucking remember that scene when he's in the hallway.
Well, that's what they say it feels like.
Okay. Fair enough.
They say it feels like everybody else is behind you almost.
Hmm. Okay. Cool. Well, that's awesome for you. I've utterly failed on my New Year's resolutions as far as week 1 of 2018 is concerned, because I think I told you that my New Year's resolution was I wanted to lose some weight.
Mm-hmm.
And my plan for that was to get up every day at 6 a.m. unless, of course, my work demanded that I needed to get up then or before then, because sometimes it does. And then I was going to do my running because I like to do that as a form of exercise, and I like to be outdoors, and I like to be moving and all that sort of stuff. Um, and I was also looking into some stuff that I saw in a magazine in a restroom that was not at my house about running with some weights in a backpack, and I was like, okay, I could do that. Um, and so that was my
But
plan.
okay, when you do that, strap it down. Just take it from firsthand experience.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not an idiot. Like, so again, a Boy Scout here, you're supposed to keep your weight above, your hips. So you want to keep it tight to your back and not loose, or you're going to cause back problems. Right? Am I right
Yep,
there? Yeah.
you got it.
Yeah. So, and I've actually done that before. I just didn't know it was like a thing in Men's Health or some shit.
Oh yeah.
Which may or may not be been where I read it. So that was my plan. And then day 1 of 2018, actually New Year's Eve, I was at like 4 hours before midnight countdown. I was like, I ain't feeling so good.
Uh,
Fuck. And then I went home and I felt awful. And then I started the day and I was just like all phlegmy and sick. And I was like, God damn it. And then that night I was eating some like ramen-y Thai thing that my girlfriend had
mhm.
made me. And and it was pretty soft. And then I was just like, and then my tongue like went up towards the front of my mouth, and then
Yeah.
I felt a tooth, and I was like,
Uh,
wait a minute, why is there a hole there? What's this hole about? And I was like, babe, can you look at my teeth? Is there is there a hole there? And she's like, yeah, there's a fucking hole there. And I was like, you said that really bad. Is it a big hole? And
yeah.
she's like, well, I can see it right away. So, and I was like, fuck. Um, Thankfully, I was able to get in and see, a dentist right away to find out how exactly bad it is. And it was a tooth chip, like in the shape of like a pie wedge, but it's like
Uh,
in between two teeth. And I guess there's like two cavities on either side of the damaged tooth as well that will need to be handled on the same day that this gets handled. So I'm like, oh, that's just fucking great. So Um,
I'm sorry, buddy.
yeah. So, if there's not a podcast next Saturday, it's because I'm hopped up on drugs. Or maybe that's the best reason to do a podcast.
I would argue that.
Oh man, for sure. So anyway, that's been my week, and then I went to work 2 days out of the week, and then Thursday and Friday I've just been out of it. But what I have been doing, which strangely, I haven't been doing a lot of video games, and I really get mad at myself about this because it's like, oh, I'm sick. I should totally fucking play video games. But then you get that like detrimental no energy, and you're just like, fuck, I want to play video games, but I don't have the energy to like get out of bed or like, you're sitting on the couch, like fucking turn on the stuff. So
Mm.
my default is, well, I'll just like watch something. And so what I've been watching, and I've seen almost the entire series that has come out so far of USA's Colony. You heard of this show?
I have not.
This show's fucking awesome and on fire, and I fucking love it. I was actually watching it just before we did the show here. So are you a fan of the actor who played Sawyer on Lost?
Yes.
Okay. Are you a fan of the girl in Prison Break? You ever watch Prison Break?
Yeah. I watched a couple episodes. Dude with the tattoo on his back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's
Some of it.
there's like one girl in that show, and it's that girl.
Okay.
I know. She was Rick's wife in The Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I
That
know who you're
girl.
talking about
That
now.
girl. Cheated with Shane. All that jazz.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's the guy who played Sawyer and that girl, and they are a family living in a post-occupied Earth by aliens, and they
Okay.
have like segregated, um, like the whole world, I guess, with like these giant like alien walls, and divided it into blocks that are run by like proxy mayors. And everything is like run by like this Gestapo Nazi people called the Red Hats, and like it's this whole like super like police state type thing. And Josh Holloway's character, guy who played Sawyer, he's a like an ex FBI Special Forces task force hunter for like murderers and criminals and stuff.
Yeah.
And he basically gets found out and gets conscripted into working for this totalitarian alien government to track down this insurgency cell that's like trying to rise up and fight against the alien occupation. And then like this isn't much of a spoiler because it's the fucking premise of the show, and it's it turns out his wife is fucking part of the insurgency cell that he's hunting. And so it's that mixed with like this cool occupation story mixed with like these aliens that have like taken over the planet in like a week. And it's like it's very fascinating, and you're not sure what the aliens are up to, and it's very dramatic and very serious, and deals with a lot of like interesting things like homegrown terrorism, and like is terrorism like too far if it's like against an oppressive government, but if the government's letting you live, like it's very interesting. It's awesome. Highly recommend. First season's on Netflix. I finished the first season yesterday, and then I was like, okay, well, I need to know what happens next, so I got the second season. And I guess the third season's supposed to start pretty soon, so I'll be ready when it comes around. So that's pretty cool. So I recommend that in terms of shows, and that's what I've been watching on my wonderful start to 2018. Have you been watching any good shows there, Mike?
I've been watching a lot of New Girl.
Yeah. What season you on?
5.
Nice.
I believe we're at the I think the it was called the pre-wedding.
Okay.
In season 5 when Coach comes back. You're up to date, right? I'm not spoiling.
Oh yeah. You're not spoiling for me.
Okay.
If Jessica was here, I'd be spoiling for her. We're really close to finishing season 1. So she'll, Nick and Jess have not yet gotten together for the first time.
Okay. Yeah, I'll remember that. I can remember that. That's terrible though. That's such a great show.
Well, what do you mean it's terrible?
I thought you would be further through it. That's all. Oh, but you guys watch a lot of shit, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, you remember the list we read.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, we've been watching more Battlestar Galactica this week. She's almost done with the first season. We watched New Girl last night though, so she's like
Nice.
one episode away from finishing season 1 of New Girl, which I'm excited for because everybody knows how much fucking better New Girl gets in season 2. Like it's so much better in season 2. Like if she loves it now, she's gonna love it more. So.
So what else did I start watching? Have you seen Fuck. It's just the damn. I can't remember
The
now.
damn.
The damn. See,
Tell
that's the
me,
problem
tell me
though.
what that show's about. I need to know. I need it in my
It's the
life.
one where Mike can't remember the name of the goddamn show he watches.
Oh man,
Forged in Fire?
Forest and Fire. I assume it's
Forged, like a
oh
forge.
where they make the stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen episodes here and there of that. That's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah,
That's some
I
cool
am
shit.
just, yeah.
Yeah, it's neat seeing how all those metal things are made and stuff.
Like, goddamn, he just took a car door and made a sword out of
Yeah,
it.
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, I doubt the the strength of that metal, if it came from a car door, because it's like all that Chinese metal. Probably a bad thing. Um, but yeah, it's cool stuff.
Yeah.
Some movies I watched. Finally saw Blade Runner 2049.
What do you think?
Have you seen it?
Yes,
Are you a Blade Runner fan?
I liked it.
Um, I thought it was pretty good. I thought um I thought it was a little slow in some areas, but then again, I also remember the original being some slow in some areas too. So I guess that was it. I was glad it wasn't like a carbon copy, and it kept you guessing and stuff. Um, Spoiler alert for the ending of Blade Runner 2049, which is out on home video right now. So go see it. Just skip ahead like a few minutes, folks. Spoiler alert in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I was kind of bummed that the replicant offspring wasn't actually fuck, what's his name? The lead guy, the actor guy.
Harrison Ford's
Yeah, well, no, I know Harrison Ford, but I mean the younger guy. The fuck, he's done a lot of stuff. I'm going blank on his name.
Gosling.
Yeah, Gosling. I was kind of bummed that Gosling wasn't actually the kid. Because they'd like
Yeah.
built up all this stuff or whatever, and I was like, oh, I could kind of see them, getting along or whatever. And like, I liked their whole fight scene and stuff in Vegas, and I just thought that was really good. I was like, oh, but it's not. It's really the girl who made the memories. I was like,
Yeah.
that's sweet too. I was kind of bummed that he died, but whatever. Anyway, I thought it was good, but it was, you
Cool.
know. I almost kind of feel like you need like a third one to round it out now, but probably.
I saw the new Conjuring.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to remember if I ever saw the original. How old is The Conjuring?
The series is a couple years.
Yeah, I might have seen the original. I'm not sure. It sounds like something I probably watched.
Oh, we've seen all four now, and it's like the way I put it is, if you're not a fan, you're not gonna become a fan from this movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But is it good? Yeah, it's good. It's a good movie.
Okay. Fair.
There was a few jump scares, but I am susceptible to them.
You're susceptible to jump scares?
Oh yeah.
I mean, do you play horror video games?
I've played, dude. Listen, if I broadcasted myself playing fucking Final Fantasy, or not Final Fantasy, I'm sorry, Resident Evil. Well, the jump scares in Resident Evil.
Uh-huh.
I would have like I would have a good video. Let me tell you. Because I jump for like sudden noises. I jump for motherfucking like any flashes.
Oh man, you could not handle Resident Evil 7 in VR then.
No, I probably couldn't.
You could not handle it, man.
No, I freaked the fuck out.
Oh, it's surreal, dude. It's so surreal. Like, there's nothing like walking through a hallway of like a southern house, and there's like creaking floorboards above you, and the dust falls down, and you look up and the dust, and you're like, oh, okay, he's above me. And then he like fucking bursts through the fucking wall to your left like fucking Terminator with an axe and takes a swing at you, and you're just like, oh my god. It's insane.
Yeah, I screamed like 100 times. Like I'm like, oh, and Jess is like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Man, if we ever meet and you happen to be in this state, I'm definitely putting you in Resident Evil 7 VR. Like, no question. There's dead silence.
I don't want you to.
You're like, I don't want
Please don't.
to. Oh man. But think about the hilarious video we'd have afterwards.
Oh yeah, we probably have a fucking hit.
You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
that sounds awesome. Um yeah. Um yeah, so that's the movies I watched this week,
Mhm.
which I guess is just one movie, really, and then a shitload of TV. Let's see what else we got. Um what I don't know what interesting things did we got going on in the world of technology and media and stuff, I suppose.
The producer of it is now the creative director for DC Films.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of that, I know a thing. Um, so as people may not know, because I haven't done a fucking Rising Tide in fucking like 8 months, which is awful. Um, so famous comic book writer Brian Michael Bendis, um, who you may or may not have heard of, Mike List. He wrote Ultimate Spider-Man, created Miles Morales Spider-Man, created Jessica Jones, um, and has generally been kicking out kick-ass comics for like 20 years at Marvel. He jumped ship from Marvel to DC Comics now,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to be writing their main Superman comic. But also, as part of his gig, he's also on the creative committee for the DC movies now. Um, so I guess you've got the producer of it, and Brian Michael Bendis is spearheading the next evolution of DC movies.
Walter Hamada.
Walter Hamada. Okay,
Yes.
is that like sounds Jewish? Is it Jewish? I have no
No,
idea.
sounds Japanese.
Oh, okay. Well, Japanese love their horror, so that might be interesting.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't mean anything since it's from Hollywood, so they're all Californians.
Mm.
um,
Let me see. What about iPhones saying they're Apple saying they're sorry for slowing down iPhones?
oh yeah. So I was actually arguing with this about Jessica last week. So on the surface, it's really bad, and they've already lost like 9 lawsuits on it and all this sort of stuff. So Apple has publicly stated that since iOS, I think like 9 or something, if your
Mm-hmm.
battery has degraded below 70% battery health, it purposely slows down your CPU on your iPhones. Um, and the reason behind the slowdown is to regulate the battery voltage. Um, and so if there's like voltage spikes and stuff, like who's ever had an iPhone and it's just randomly turned off on you?
Yeah,
Like you've probably had that.
I
Yeah.
have not, but I know people who have.
Okay. So the reason that does that is because the power management system can't regulate the voltage high enough to keep the CPU on. And so the CPU doesn't know what to do, so it just forces itself into an automatic reset, which is annoying. And
Mm-hmm.
so Apple's solution to that was to lower the clock speed of the CPU, therefore demanding less power on batteries that are degraded. So on a surface level, it's like, oh, Apple's slowing down my phones, and that's really evil of them. But and listen to me closely on this one, audience. If you understand anything about batteries, like just because you have a lithium ion battery, which at the moment is the best kind of battery you can have in I guess a lithium ion polymer battery, sorry,
Yeah.
is the best kind of battery you can have in a portable electronic device. It's still chemicals that are being charged with electrons, and they're moving and they're exciting, and they're going to break down the type of materials that are in the battery over time. And everybody's going to be different on their wear and tear. Like video game systems are probably going to wear down, like I'm thinking of like the Switch or like your handheld is going to wear down based on how much power the GPU is probably consuming. Um, things on cell phones like GPS abuse is notoriously power hungry. So if you use your GPS a lot, you're probably wearing down your battery more. Things like that. Like everybody's battery is going to wear down different. But at the end of the day, despite the ridiculous advancements in technology, battery technology has not gotten that much better. Like it just hasn't. Like end of story. The only reason we get better battery life is because processors keep getting smaller and use a different fabrication process and consume less power because it's physically smaller. Like the battery tech has not gotten better. Like it's gotten better in small little areas here and there,
Mm.
but it's like it's still chemicals. And at the end of the day, just like a car battery, those chemicals will wear out eventually. And so think of it this way. If you had a car battery that um purposely slowed down your car but allowed you to use it, but your battery lasted longer, wouldn't you want that over a battery that just up and dies, leaving you on the freeway?
Yeah, you have a good point.
Yeah. So, on the one hand, it's not good on a cursory level, and you can get really mad about it if you don't understand anything about batteries. And I'm not a chemist. My father was a chemist. I didn't pick up anything from him, but I do know general things about stuff. Um, and it's still chemicals. Chemicals fucking wear out. It's like a tire on a car. Like it's gonna be fresh rubber for a while, but after 1,000 miles, it's gonna fucking wear out because it's just
Mhm.
it's just physical use and abuse, and that's just what happens with batteries. So, on the one hand, I actually applaud Apple's choice to slow down phones, even though me personally, I can super attest to the fact that my iPhone 6 is slow as balls. But as an iPhone 6, it's been around for fucking years, and I've used the shit out of it every day, you know?
Mm.
And I'm sure, the same thing will probably happen to my iPhone 10 when its battery eventually wears down. What's not cool, however, on this thing, because I know exactly the article you're talking about, Mike, is they have they have said two things. Because they've lost a bunch of court cases in multiple countries. They've said one, uh, they are going to relabel their wording in their official, documents. The whole disclaimer thing, read here, sign here thing that you do every time you install a new iOS.
Yeah.
They're going to state that much more specifically because I guess that's what they lost the court case on is their verbiage wasn't um, expansive enough to cover this type of lawsuits that they incurred. So they're going to change the verbiage. And then also they said for anybody who has anything below down to an iPhone 6 in terms of an iOS device, you can get a battery replacement regardless of whether it needs one or not for $29.
Yeah.
Now, here's where it gets a little wonky. So on the one hand, it's like for me personally, like I have an iPhone 6, it's basically a glorified iPod Touch. I might do
Yeah.
that cuz it's still I can still use it as a music device or something or keep it in my car or something like that. And I'd want the best performance out of it. So apparently, I would need to get a new battery for that, which is fine. And $29, I ain't going to sweat $29. However, where it gets a little dicey is these people who are outraged that they are slowing down their phone and Apple's solution is to then charge them money to fix a problem. I think that's a little dirtbaggy, personally. What I wish Apple would do, in like the next iOS update or something, is just include a fucking toggle in your settings that's like, hey, enable this. And if your battery degrades below 70%, instead of recycling your phone power off thing, which we can't help, will slow down your phone. If you don't want that and want to have your phone run at full speed, but maybe it might restart once in a while, disable this toggle. Just make a toggle. Give
Yeah.
users choice. you know? Like, yeah, it affects the user experience, of course, but it's a battery issue, you know? It's like, you know, if your battery's not charged, you're not going to make it 50 miles. Or, you know, if your alternator, which does the charging while you're driving, you know, if it ain't working, your battery's going to die after it's out. Like that's just the way batteries fucking work, you know, until we get a better fucking power system. So, sorry, I got a little soapboxy there, Mike.
No,
I
I was gonna say it actually is. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, yeah, you're
You
okay
know.
with the slowdown versus a full complete stop.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, okay, fair
But I
enough.
also went to the mall and paid the $29 and got my battery replaced.
Oh, you did?
So, oh yeah,
Nice.
seamless. It
Yeah,
was seamless.
yeah.
I walked into the Apple store. My man goes, "Let me guess, you want a new battery?" I said, "Please and thank you. Let me get two."
How
I
long
mean,
did
I
it
didn't
how
have
how long did it take?
what for them to replace the battery
Yeah,
for two phones.
yeah.
Minutes.
Nice,
Not even a
nice.
sizable amount of minutes.
That's awesome.
Like we just got into we were just like starting our conversation by the time they came out.
Yeah.
Like we sat down and talked, because they had the little seats at the bar or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and we sat down and just started talking. Like, what do you want to eat? And then the
Yeah.
dude came out and he was like, "Here's your phones. Sorry it took so long." I'm like, "Holy shit, man!"
Okay, so because I read Apple News all the time, you might want to go find an app on the App Store called Coconut Battery
Okay.
and double check your battery health. Coconut Battery will tell you your battery health. Um, and because there's been some reports that sometimes the Apple people have been assholes and they've just been like, "Oh, his battery is above 70%. He don't need a new battery. We'll just give it back to him."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, oh no, that's terrible. Don't do that. Don't
So
get fucked.
I'm
Don't get fucked up, Apple.
so just just use I think it's coconut battery. Let me check. Coconut battery. Yep, coconut battery. iOS device. Yeah, check it out.
Okay.
I've had coconut battery for years on my Mac. It's a very comprehensive, like it tells you when the battery is manufactured, the charge, the full charge capacity, the cycle count, the battery temperature, discharge rate, all that jazz.
Okay.
And you can tell, you know, its overall battery health. It's awesome. So check it out.
Coconut battery will do.
Yep. Yep. That's the dealio. Just looking out for you.
Oh, I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah. So let's see. God, I feel like there's a technology thing. Oh, so obviously, I think we've talked about the fact that Disney purchased Fox.
Yeah, we talked about
And of course,
that.
the FCC is already trying to get involved and prevent that merger, which is hilarious. I guess I'm such not a fan of the FCC getting involved in shit. It pisses me off.
Yeah,
Useless fucking FCC.
pretty much.
Um, what I have heard, however, is there's a lot of scuttlebutt about Apple buying Netflix.
Hmm.
And the reason this scuttlebutt came about is because everybody's got their own fucking video platform now at this point. You know, um, Amazon's got theirs, CBS has theirs, fucking Disney may or may not launch theirs depending on how their acquisition of Fox goes.
Disney got Hulu.
Well, Disney's already owned like a 25% stake share of Hulu. And with Fox's shares, because it's so Hulu is jointly shared owned between Disney, Fox, Comcast, and Warner Brothers. I think it's one of those. It's one of those. It's a conglomerate basically.
Mm-hmm.
And Disney owned 25% before, with them owning Fox, they own like 52% of Hulu, so they own the majority share.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. My numbers might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that they own the majority share. Um, but yeah, so there's all this rumor about um, Apple buying Netflix, I guess. And the rumor came about because of the, and not to get political or anything, because we don't do that here on Freaking Air, but because of the the new tax bill or law or whatever the fuck got
Mm-hmm.
passed here in November by the President of the United States. Apparently, one of the things in that law allows holding of money in offshore accounts because I guess all the big companies do it. Like, I guess according to this article I read, Apple has like $450 billion in an offshore account
As one would expect.
that they hold off there, and it's a little difficult to get to because if they hold that much money here in the US, they'd be taxed more or something like that. Um, so I guess what the tax thing allows to do is all these companies who have a bunch of money in offshore accounts allows it to bring it back. So therefore they could use it more easily.
Yeah.
And people were pointing out that like I think Netflix is valued at like $150 billion or something like that. And they're like, well, if anybody actually has the capital to do it and needs to do it, it's Apple. And so there's a bunch
Yeah.
of industry analysts that are like, Apple's going to buy Netflix. And the reason being is because Apple is hiring like a motherfucker for their own original programming. And why do that when you could just buy Netflix? And, you know, like that would give Netflix all the money it would ever need, ever. Period. Like they wouldn't even necessarily need. I mean, obviously you'd need subscriptions and stuff because that's how they work and all that stuff. But I'm
Yeah.
saying hypothetically, Apple bought Netflix. Apple makes enough money to go around. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they surely do.
Like they could fuel Netflix's fires forever, potentially. You know. So I don't know. I think it's a very interesting rumor. I think Netflix definitely fits for Apple. Given the way Apple tends to try to cater to all audiences, and Netflix certainly is trying to cater to all audiences with its type of content and programming. So if Apple bought Netflix today, would you feel bad about it, Mike?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, I understand. Like, I can. Do I not understand the tax thing? Yeah, I don't understand the tax thing,
Yeah,
but
me
I
neither.
also understand that it's common knowledge that big companies have money elsewhere. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, you gotta be, come on, you gotta be super naive to think that they don't have it elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So I, yeah, I get it. I'm okay with it. They can do that. I don't think that they'll dip too far into it. You know what I mean? They won't change it too much.
Oh, I think if Apple does buy it, it'll be just like when they bought Beats.
Mm,
You know, they'll keep it as Beats because they know that
yeah,
the brand name is valuable.
yeah,
You know, they'll sort of let it run autonomously, but at the same time, slide innovations its way. Like I think what was the thing with Beats? Like, it's the still same sort of stuff, but now they have lightning plugs and they
yeah,
used like their new W2 wireless chip or some shit. They'll slide that sort of shit in, you know. I mean,
yeah.
maybe not that kind of stuff specifically since Netflix, sort of exists in the cloud as it were. Um but I don't know. I know Apple has is building like the biggest um fucking content delivery server farm in the Midwest. It's possible, if they did bought Netflix, they'd want to bring it into their server farm,
Yeah.
because I mean, God knows Apple probably has the best fucking server farm on the planet.
What you would hope, right?
Yeah, I saw a picture of their server farm back in like 2013, and it is the weirdest space age fucking. It does not look like a normal server farm. Like, how do you imagine servers, Mike?
Like decently sized boxes.
Yeah. So when I saw this picture of this Apple server farm they had, it was like, you know what? It reminded me of like the sort of like coming down from the ceiling thing with like a pod, like GLaDOS from Portal.
Uh-huh.
It was all these like pods hanging from the ceiling. It's fucking weird.
That's fucking
It
weird.
was really space agey.
Yeah.
I was like, what the F? What the F? It was so weird because it's like I had only ever seen that picture like a couple of times, and it's like, is that for real? Like, no other place looks like that. Why does theirs look so different? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, anyways. So, um, yeah, what are we talking about now? We're talking about some
Let's
video
see.
games? I think you got some video games to talk about there.
Yeah, we
There,
can talk about some video games.
there, Mike. Why don't you start off with all of your new fresh thoughts on Zelda and the Paladins thing? That's a big
Um,
deal, I think.
okay, well, Paladins is. I'll start with Zelda. Zelda's fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the best. Yeah, I could lose myself in that game if I had it all the time. Totally lose myself, 100%, and be okay with it. So I've played a lot more now. I am indeed a fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just helping my Jess out with it. I'm not trying to start my own account. I just want to see, just get into it a little bit, help her out, and man, I am loving that game.
Okay. So what have you done in it so far?
I've cleared several dungeons. I've got the Divine Beast. I've conquered that one. I've conquered the Divine Beast. I've let's see. I've killed two guardians by reflecting their bows back, their lasers back at them with my
Oh,
shield.
nice. That's a pretty high class skill. Because
Yeah,
you
I'm learning.
because
I'm
you
learning how to do a lot.
because you can do that with like um the lowest grade shield you can get in the game. I think
Yeah,
the
you
pot
get
lid.
a pot lid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So what do you think the first time you fought a guardian?
oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, apple, 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 apple. Uh, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, apple, 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 apple.
And did you fight one with the legs?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Jess plays the game too,
Mhm.
so I don't have it all the time.
Mhm.
So for me, I was like, okay, all right, I'll get a little bit into it. Oh God, where are we? Oh God, I'm in trouble. Oh God. So that was something to get used to, but it's so much fun, man.
Would you think about the fact that they shoot fucking death kill
Oh,
lasers?
they shoot death lasers. Oh, great, yeah, super. That's what we need, right? More of
Mhm.
those. Fuck me. The first time I blasted that laser, I was like, no, 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 damn it. How many apples we got? All right, I'm gonna use a shit ton of apples.
Well, okay, so before it shot a laser at you, what type of enemy did you think it was? Like what were you expecting?
I was not expecting that. I fought the little ones.
Oh yeah, 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 the little
So I
guys.
thought they were going to act like the little ones and just, pop a big blade and try to fight me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. It blew a laser beam at me. I got hit by a fucking Kamehameha.
Yeah. Yeah. I assume you died instantly, yeah.
Oh, no, I was at like three. I had like a sliver of a heart left.
Uh
Like, when I say a sliver, I mean like the
oh yeah, I
slivers of
know.
all slivers.
Yeah, a quarter heart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, what divine beasts have you played?
The one I asked you for help with, the
The elephant?
Ravara. Yeah, the elephant.
Oh, okay. What'd you think of that boss fight?
Holy shit! It made me. I felt like a Shadow of the Colossus.
Hmm.
It felt like that.
Yeah, I can understand that. Did you okay, you're bringing up a whole other subject now. Did you play and like Shadow of the Colossus?
Yeah. Oh, I loved it. I know they're making a reboot.
Yeah. Did Okay, so I'm a giant Shadow of the Colossus guy. Like I played um Fun story, which I may or may not have said on podcast at some point or time. So I tried to get an Xbox 360 when it came out, and I couldn't find it. I didn't have enough money, so I couldn't pre-order it, and I just couldn't get an Xbox 360 because they were supply shorted at the time. In was it 2005, something ridiculous like that? Whenever the fuck they came out, I think it was 2005.
Yeah, 2005.
Yeah, and so instead, I bought a cheap ass PS2 Slim and Shadow of the Colossus because I was like, all right, that game looks cool. Fuck it, I want something to play because it's Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get 360 in the new year, And goddamn, if that wasn't so good. It was so good, I completely forgot about anything next gen. That's how good that game was at the time.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Shadow of the Colossus is an amazing game.
Yeah, I beat it. All of the hard difficulties in the original PlayStation. I played the 1080p remaster on the PS3. Didn't beat it, but I played a lot of it. And I'm actually, goddamn it, I'm gonna buy it a third fucking time when it comes out. I guess it's soon. I guess it's like next month.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And yeah, I'm gonna play it. It's interesting because I had Jessica play that game, and she really liked it, but she hated the fucking controls. And I guess I don't begrudge her that because the controls are old. If the control feels old, and I hear that the new one has like different controller options, so I wonder if that'll be the one that'll let her play it.
The way she wants to play it.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, love Shadow Colossus. Can't wait for the. I guess it's not really a remaster because like the 1080p one was a remaster, like because it's the same game, and this is from the ground. Like my understanding is they started with the same code base, or they started with the remaster that they did because it's done by the same team, Blue Point, who's famous for remastering games. But they took the same code base that they'd already done, but then they like redid everything from scratch, I guess. I watched a video about it, and it was like we redid this and junked this physics system and changed this and did that, and I was like, oh man. Well, if anybody's gonna make a good remake, like it's gonna be the guys who did the remaster, right? I think. They already got their hands dirty. They've been playing in that sandbox for at least 4 years now, I would guess. It's a long time to be playing with the same game. But it's a really fucking good game. So, I guess get the right team on it and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm excited about that. Anyway, you're saying that it reminded you of Shadow of the Colossus. What was it specifically, like going to the Divine Beasts?
Yeah, going to them and getting involved.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yep, this feels, I was like, this feels like, what does this feel like, Shadow of the Colossus? And I just said it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like I had to think about it or anything. I told my Jess if she ever needs me to, I'll just fight the Divine Beast.
Mm. Okay.
Because I had a lot of fun fighting the Divine Beast.
Now,
I'm assuming they're all different, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, do you have any ideas about the other ones?
I mean, if one's an elephant, I'm assuming one's a cat.
One's a cat.
Like a big tiger, a big lion. Like I'm assuming they're all animals, right?
I mean, I would say that that's a safe assumption.
Yeah, because they were the ones that were rode, right? So I'm thinking, what can be rode? Elephant, tiger.
I mean, maybe. I ain't gonna spoil.
I mean, I did see a dragon.
Okay.
That was fucking awesome. I just saw a dragon. I was like, oh.
Yeah. What color was that dragon?
It was green.
Okay. Probably appeared around nighttime in the south.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
And I lost my mind.
Yeah. Isn't that wild? You're just like.
Oh fuck! It's a dragon! Run!
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm not even brave. Like, no, it's not this. No, this is not Skyrim, which I am playing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if I see a dragon in Skyrim, I'm like, ooh, piece of candy. I see a dragon in Zelda, I'm like, God, that's gonna take all my hearts.
See, I think that's a big fundamental difference between uh the Skyrimification of Zelda. Like Skyrim, it's like, oh, I might be able to win if I find myself with enough arrows and in the right spot where the AI glitches. In Zelda, it's like, it's gonna kill you. It will.
It,
It
it,
will, and
it
it probably.
it's gonna. There's no it will. It's gonna. If you fuck with it and you're not ready for it, it's gonna hurt you.
Oh yes. Oh yes. That's so good.
I beat the Blightwater Ganon.
Yeah, which is
That
the Divine
that
Beast elephant boss. Yep.
yes.
Right, right on. Right on. What do you think about the the special ability you get from the elephant?
That's the Rush. Hold on. Which one is that? Because we have two. We have the one that throws you in the air.
Oh, so she's already done a Divine Beast.
Yeah, she did one already.
Oh, okay.
She was
Okay,
just
cool.
stuck at Veruda. She was stuck at the second part of the Blightwater Ganon fight.
So she
where
did.
it brings up the ice cubes.
Yeah. So she did the flying one first.
I believe, yes.
Okay.
Because you could like throw yourself in the air, basically.
Yeah, it's a great fucking skill.
That's when I haven't, after I beat Veruda, she took it from me. So I haven't been able to
I see.
to use it.
So that ability is when you die, you get revived by Mifa with extra hearts.
Okay.
It's basically like a respawning like fairy from the old games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I also have like several fairies in my inventory because if I do go down, I want to come back up.
Yeah. Oh god, I saw this fucking amazing. This dude was shredding a mountain in Zelda, because you can shred mountains in Zelda now.
Yeah.
And he like missed a jump, and the physics, and he just like rolled all the fucking way down this mountain. It was the most tragic thing. And like every hit, he died, but he had like 10 fairies.
Oh no!
And it was like death fairy, death fairy, death fairy. It was awesome. I'm gonna have to send you the video. It's pretty fucking epic. I'm not gonna lie.
Please do, sir.
Yeah. So,
go ahead.
So since you've dipped your toes into
probably yeah, you could say ankle maybe.
Yeah, you're ankle deep now into the game, even though you're playing on your girlfriend's file. What kind of things do you think you might find in the world?
Oh God.
Because I would imagine, since you're a big Zelda guy, I'd imagine most of the things you found in the world thus far are pretty fucking surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Octorok was an interesting little surprise. I got my ass whooped by a giant stone golem.
Oh yeah, they'll do that.
Oh yeah, he just came out of nowhere, just disrespectful and shit. Was like, "Hey, how you doing, Mike? How's your gaming? Oh, you mind if I fuck this up? I'm gonna."
Exactly.
And then I could not get away fast enough. I could not eat enough goddamn apples to keep me alive.
Mm-hmm.
I've also mastered the well, not mastered, but I like the cooking and the elixir mechanic.
Oh yeah, those are really cool, huh?
Yeah, I love that. That's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I can get sneakier? Oh, catch all the fairies, catch all the fairies, catch all the fairies, catch all the fairies.
Yeah. What do you think about the gear system in the game?
The gear? Oh, the little tablet?
Oh no! I mean like your equipment, like swords and shields and breaking and clothes, and clothes give different attributes and all that sort of stuff.
Like it.
Yeah.
Like it. Get more of that in my Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for it. I mean, it's a little frustrating when you're fighting and then you realize, oh, I don't have anything after this. Oh shit, it broke.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
That could be a little off-putting, let's say.
Have you figured out how to upgrade your inventory?
Isn't it the little Maraca guy?
Yeah.
Under rocks, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I play, Jess is like, pick up the rocks. You see anything out of the ordinary, go investigate. I'm like, what? I'm like, do you think I'm new at this? I literally said it to her. I'm like, babe, do you think I don't know how to play Zelda? I was like, I've been Zelda from OG. I remember the goddamn fantastic animated series of Legends of Zelda. Y'all remember that? That was some shit.
Oh
I
man.
fucking love it. Excuse me, princess. Fuck yeah, Link.
Oh, so good. So good. So, okay. Well, let me ask you some basic Zelda questions then. Do you think you get the Master Sword in this game?
Yes. I
Okay.
know that though. I
Oh,
know
okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think fighting this particular Ganondorf will be at all normal?
No, I do not. I
Okay.
think this is going to be the opposite of normal.
Oh
I
yeah.
think this is going to be Abby normal.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Calamity Ganon is
This is not going to be, oh, beat him, he changes form, beat him, he changes form, beat him, he changes form. This is going to be like, okay, I got to use fucking stop time to stop this from hitting me in my face, and then I got to jump over and use magnesis over here. Yeah. Oh, I bet there's going to be a lot.
So when do you think you're going to be ready to fight him?
I have no idea. I don't want to fight Calamity again until we have at least 15 hearts.
Okay. You think you need that many?
I think Jess needs that many
Oh.
because Jess is going to she's going to beat Calamity Ganon. I'm telling you right now, she's not going to get frustrated and let me. She's going to get frustrated. Oh, she's going to get frustrated, but she's not going to let me take it. She
Okay.
she loves that fucking game.
Fair enough.
She tells me all the no. Oh, she tells me every time I love this fucking game. I'm like, all right, babe, thank you, you're welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome.
Oh, speaking of Christmas games, um, so I think I said in the podcast that I had got my Jessica a Switch game called This Is the Police, because she's all about the police and her family's police and all that sort of stuff. And I was
Yeah,
like,
you did mention that.
yeah. So I bought it on a whim. I'd heard sort of mixed things about the game or whatever. But she started playing it this last week, and it's basically the cop management the game or
Yeah.
whatever. But it's like dark as shit. Like it is legitimately all sorts of fucked up. Like the opening line is something about the police sergeant, not sugarcoating shit and licking tits and slapping his dick out on the table
Well,
or
okay.
something like that. It's which is hilarious because it's done by the guy who voices Duke Nukem.
Uh, yeah.
Um,
So that feels right.
yeah, but it's like legitimately dark. Like, so you're managing police and you're sending police to calls, and the police all have like they got basically like little cards and ratings, and sometimes they're whiny little bitches and will request the day off to like feed their goldfish, and you're like, fuck you, work overtime. But then like as you go along in the game, like the mayor's corrupt, playing the police chief are kind of corrupt. You like are forced to work with the mob sometimes, or like they'll murder you.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it's basically like you have to do a certain amount of favors for them, but like that, or else like it ends in game over and your family dies.
Oh,
Like, and I mean, game over ends with like you come home and like your family is hanging from their decapitated heads,
oh,
and then somebody comes behind you and whacks you, and then you get game over.
oh, wow.
Yeah, it's dank. I was like, fuck. I had no idea what I was getting into with this game. Um but the story is really good, and like the moral quandaries is like it's really nail biting. Like my Jessica, obviously plays from the stance of morally right in all video games and in
Oh,
life.
yeah. Jessica's lawful good.
And this game, like you just can't. You have to be morally gray to survive. It'll be like, oh, there's terrorist sighting, bomb in a stadium, but it's actually a mafia bomb, and the mafia is like, you have to let the bomb go off, or your family's
Oh,
gonna die. And then so you let the bomb go off and innocents die and stuff, and then they're like, good, here's $8,000 for keeping quiet. And it's just like, oh god. And then internal affairs comes, and then you got to go to like court hearings and like lie your ass off. And it's just, it
Oh,
makes you so uncomfortable the whole game. It is fascinating.
that sounds fun.
It's like a really intense expedited version of like all of your choose your own adventure things, like in a BioWare game or something,
Yeah, yeah.
where it's like, oh, and then like City Hall is so corrupt. Like one day you'll be like, hey, we received complaints, so we need you to fire all of the black cops in 4 days. And you're like, fuck you. The black cops are like 90% of my police force.
Oh wow, it goes down it gets that deep.
Oh yeah, it does. Oh yeah, it does. And it's like, oh, and then you got to solve crimes and you got to put detectives on crimes and stuff. And sometimes people have alcohol problems or drug addictions. And you got to either choose to help them out or send them to internal affairs or like all this stuff, or sometimes it's like, so the way you solve murders is you have a detective on a case and you work a certain number of days or something. Um, and you get picture frames that are sort of like how you think the sequence of events played out. And
Hmm.
if you get the sequence right, you solve the thing. And then sometimes you recover stuff like, oh, you recovered the jewels. And then it's like you get the option like turn into police evidence or sell to the mob. And it's
Oh
like,
wow.
it's so like you can play it like any which way or whatever, or it's wild. And then sometimes you'll send like two cops to a convenience store that are at a robbery, and then it escalates, and then those cops might have a high rating that you worked hard to get them to like level up and stuff, and then they die. And you're like, fuck
Oh,
me. God damn it. And it's
not
like
McEnroy.
it's really intense. And all of this plays out over the course of a day, which is like 10-15 minutes of play. So it's really well suited. Playing it on the Switch, so it's really good for mobile, actually. Um, and it's got a unique kind of minimalistic art style. And I think it's set in the 80s. I'm not entirely sure. They never say a year, but they talk about like, you know, they don't really mention computers or cell phones. So I think it's set in the 80s is kind of the gist that I'm getting.
Okay.
And then it's also got this like really awesome like real music, like jazz and bluesy soundtrack that's super
Okay.
cool. Like it's just super cool across the board. And my Jessica fucking loves it. And I'm surprised to say, because I've been sick, so I've been playing it. Um, it's really fucking good. It's really fun. I'm really intrigued by the story. The story is on point, man. Like it keeps you guessing every turn. It's like, okay, well, you start playing and it's like, okay, well, just gonna fuck over the mafia. Fuck the mafia. I'm gonna fuck the mafia, and then your family dies, and you're like, fuck. Okay, maybe I gotta play ball with the mafia. Okay, I'm gonna play ball with the mafia. I'm gonna play ball with the mafia, and then it's like, okay, there's a gang war. You have to choose which gang you need to support, and it's like, fuck. Are you kidding
Oh,
me? you know,
I gotta have the gang.
and then you help one gang, and then internal affairs is breathing down your neck, and you're like, okay, okay, I'm gonna lay this off, and then you find out that like your highest rated dude that you have like put all your resources in, and he's a really high level and rank and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You find out that he is the one who turned you into eternal affairs, so you're
Uh,
like, shit. Either I gotta pay him off to like be quiet about me, which he might refuse because I've raised him to be a goody goody cop. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Or I can pay the mafia to create a crime scene and then he'll get whacked in it and I'll bury the problem, which might create more problems with Eternal Affairs down the road. It's crazy. Anyway,
That dude, that sounds great.
it's really good. I'm
What's it
not,
called?
This is the police.
This is the police.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
it's on Switch Marketplace right now, and it's on Steam as well, I think. But yeah, I highly recommend it. Like, It's definitely, a lot of pictures and menus and reading and stats. It's basically all a stats game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you're not shooting anything. It's not first person. You're looking at menus the whole time. Um, but the story is voice acted, which is awesome. And the art style is this sort of minimalistic, like muted colors, sort of like modern art sort of looking art style, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really good. My Jessica, who almost worked for the police, and her family's all police people, and her mom works in the courts. Um, she's she's really impressed with how authentic it feels. Seeing as like she would know,
Yeah.
and I'm really impressed by just the fact that I'm just the worst fucking police chief ever. I'm rolling in money because I'm just fucking killing my officers and dealing with the mob. And anytime anybody speaks ill of me, I just off them. I don't know how long it's gonna be though, So
Commissioner Gordon, you are not, sir.
no, I am not. I don't raise the bat signal.
Uh,
But it's a ton of fun. I have a ton of fun with it. I'm pleasantly surprised every time I play the game. So highly recommend if you're, especially for you, if that seems like a game you might like, check it out on the Switch. It's good, man.
all right, definitely will.
So yeah, so how did I get into that? We were talking about Zelda, and then I was talking about this.
And I was going to talk about the battle royale for
Oh yeah, talk about the
Paladins.
yeah.
I actually have a video of it.
Okay.
They played it for an hour on stream.
Oh, they played it already. It's playable.
It's playable.
Okay.
Well, it was like an alpha build or
closed beta and all that jazz.
So yeah, it was closed, but they showed it off.
Okay.
It is incredible. It looks like a lot of fun.
Okay.
I mean, I like Fortnite, so I love Paladin, so I'll definitely play this.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, long and short of it is they have two people from each class,
Mm-hmm.
and in that class, every match rotates.
Mm-hmm.
So you pick your team. You always get squatted up. You're always squatted up,
Mm-hmm.
and you choose a quadrant of the map, which is I think he said 300 times larger than a standard map.
Okay.
So you guys squat up, you drop in. They have chests. Each chest contains like power ups like helmet, boots, chest piece, weapon.
Hmm.
And it's augments for your weapon and your abilities.
Okay.
When you go down, instead of like going down to your knee, you turn into a chicken.
What?
Yeah, you haven't played Paladins. One of the characters' ultimates turns you into a chicken.
Oh, okay.
It's like a huge debuff. Okay. It brings everybody down to like 1,000 or 1,500 life.
Okay.
And that sucks for like a tank.
Mm.
But I mean, I'm excited for it. A lot of people but it turns out it's funny that Hi-Rez had a battle royale like game mode before battle royale things became popular, and no one liked it.
Oh yeah.
So they just stopped making it. They just like changed it. A little bit of humor there.
Well, didn't they also have like the Overwatch thing before Overwatch?
Yeah, I mean, what with the hero shooter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that. It's a totally different. I played both games. They're totally different. I mean, yeah, they have heroes, but it's a totally different game, in my opinion. In my humble opinion, I should say. But I mean, I'm ready for it. I can't wait for it to come. I mean, it's alpha still, so it's going to be a minute.
Sure.
But
Do they know when it's coming to public? What? So obviously, since I've introduced you to the battle royale genre,
yeah,
with the epicness that is Fortnite, um, what distinctiveness do you see it bringing to the table that Fortnite isn't bringing, besides obviously the hero shooter component part?
uh, the way you drop in as a squad, which
Okay.
is different. Not like in battle royale, how I can go to Dusty Depot and you can go to Tomato Town.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's something that changed. The maps are they're very paladins. Like you feel like, oh, this is where they got this from. They brought this texture over from here. It looked like it was well put together and not as predictable as I think they say it changes too every match. Like the tile set changes.
Okay.
So there is no Tomato Town, you know. It's just, oh, they named this quadrant this. Let's go here.
Gotcha.
But that may change. That may change. But the hero shooter is obviously the one that everybody is what sets them apart.
Okay. Fair
So,
enough. Do we have anything else to talk about?
I mean, keto, games, movies, TV shows. I mean, if you wanna call it, I think we can call it.
I
There's
mean,
not much. I mean,
yeah,
Destiny's kind of everybody's mad at Eververse type of thing.
yeah. I haven't even played it since the thing over the holiday.
Yeah.
Is it still going or is it done?
The Donnie's still going. It's next week.
Oh, is next week is when it closes?
Yeah.
Okay. Was the dawning any good?
It was okay. I've been to the farm more than I ever had to have snowball fights.
Okay. I don't even know what that is, but
Yeah.
I guess you can have snowball fights, is what you're
Yeah,
telling me?
in the world in general, not just in the tower or in the farm, but in the wild and in strikes, you can make snowballs and throw them.
Is it an emote or something?
No, it's actually you literally pick up. There's piles of snow and you pick them up.
Huh. Well, that's cool, I guess. Did
It's
they
funny.
bring SRL back?
No, they did not.
Well, fuck them then. I don't care.
Okay, well you're one. Okay, that's
I am
I
that
now
guy.
know where you lie.
I think we've established this though over the years of the
Yeah,
Destiny podcast that we used to do. You know, I'm an SRL guy. When they
and I
bring
am not,
SRL, I will. I have more reason to play Destiny than I do right now.
and
Even
I
though,
am not.
even
And
though,
that's
I know, it's okay.
I hate SRL.
Yep. And on that Debbie Downer, I think that brings us to the end of a rather short and somewhat sad. I blame my sickness. Apologies for the lack of energy. Um, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull a mic on this year's podcasting, which is to never miss an episode. Because god damn it, Mike is the most dedicated man I've ever met in podcasting, who I've ever had the pleasure to podcast with. I think you've missed what? One episode
Yeah, and it
of
was
your
because
own show?
I couldn't speak,
Yeah. Yeah. Which
and
is
it
totally
wasn't like I had
understandable.
something to do. It was I could not talk.
Yeah, it happens. Sometimes it happens. I have definitely I've lost my voice on more than one occasion, almost hilariously, like the day before I podcast.
Oh yeah, and
So
that's what happened to me too. I woke up and was like, I was like, no.
exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
I was in the emergency room, and I left the emergency room to come to come do my podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love podcasting, dude. I'll make the vow right now. If you want to not miss one, I won't miss one.
Hey, I'm down. I'm down. Pending a the only scenarios where I feel it will be acceptable for me to miss a Fork in Your podcast for 2018 will be either internet out, because obviously that's out of my control, and like, you know, bad cell signal because you can, you know, I could call in and you could record,
Yeah.
Throat, voice gone, because
Yeah.
that's, who knows? It happens. I'm in the hospital. Actually, no. I'm in the hospital. I should still do a show if I've got access to a fucking thing.
Yeah.
But please God, no, let's not have that happen in 2018.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's not put that out in the
what
universe.
other scenarios would you quantify?
Maybe like a vacation or family emergency, or like, we always go family first.
Yeah, or
You
or
know, s
or like a wedding.
yeah, a wedding,
Um,
like a birthday.
yeah, like
Um,
yeah.
you
Speaking
know, with
speaking of that, I guess I should probably say I know I have a wedding that I'm going to one of my best bros weddings on the 3rd of next month. So probably not
uh,
a podcast then.
or you might just get a Buster episode.
Although I mean that's entirely possible.
Like I said, man, I can record. I also there is a producer in me as well, sir. I wear many hats.
Okay. Well, we've got some time before then, so
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
I can put something together.
But alrighty, thanks listeners for joining us for another awesome episode of the Fork in Your Ear podcast. I'm your host as always, author, podcaster, gamer, Tim K.A. Trotter. You can find all of our stuff at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. You can find my book there. You can find my links to the other podcasts that I've done there. You can find all of my social media stuff there, as well as our corporate social media stuff. Please like, subscribe, comment, Facebook friend, and all of that jazzery do. Anything you want to pimp there, Mike?
For sure. You can follow me, Mike List, also known as Buster Knuckle, on Twitter at Buster Knuckle 13. That's Buster Knuckle 13. If you like Destiny and you want to hear me talk more about Destiny, you can follow my podcast and download it, the RNG Cast. You can find us on Twitter at the RNG Cast. And other than that, I call this. I think we have a hashtag, Tim. This is Fork 2018, buddy.
Forked 2018? Is that what we're doing?
Forked 2018.
Okay, sounds good. Get forked, folks. 2018.
Shazammed. Get forked and Shazammed.
And we out. Thank you for listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast. You can find our podcast at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Feel free to email us at dynamicworks@mac.com.
Dominic Armato, the voice of Guybrush Threepwood, and you're listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast.
The Citadel, Arrival, is the first installment in a series of epic science fiction short stories reminiscent of the Pulp Fiction style. It's a fast-paced story that will take you through twists and turns that you will not expect, until they are thrust upon you with all the force, excitement, and chaos of a plasma cannon blast. The story follows Katarl, a nobody cog in the working wheels of a futuristic society run completely by Megacorp, a corporation that carefully runs and manages the lives of the people living under its sphere of power. On one of Katarl's few and far between days off from work, an outing he had hoped would be fun and relaxing turns into an explosive adventure that drags him kicking and screaming into situations and challenges that will make him question every aspect of his life. Watch this colorful tapestry unfurl as Katarl and his newfound allies find their way through this classic, yet oddly surprising tale of good and evil, where nothing is quite what it appears to be. That's The Citadel, Arrival by author Tim K.A. Trotter, available right now on Amazon Kindle Store and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99. Just, woke up too late. Fighting this bug. Getting better. And, waiting on you. How was your shower, good sir?
It was good. Needed.
Yeah? Are you a...
Oh, yeah.
You one of them people who only showers every once in a while?
No, I shower all the goddamn time. I worked out today and I stink.
Okay.
Well, I stunk.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Before we start, how do I sound?
It's kind of hard to tell with all the noises that you're making right now.
Sorry. Let me stop making noises for a split second and then ask the question again. How do I sound?
Say more than just that.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Yeah, you sound fine.
This is a new mic setup.
Okay. Different from even last week's?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I listened to last week's and it sounded like my side sounded off a little bit.
Oh, it did? Okay.
To me.
Well, I'm certainly okay with you deciding that you gotta up your sound game.
Yeah, the producer in me was like, no.
Sweet. Okay, so I have fucking no idea what to talk about this week. I guess we'll just hit the topics and freeball it.
I mean, we can just freestyle it. Because the producer of It is now the creative director of DC Films.
Like
I don't know if you saw that.
The It movie? No.
Uh-huh.
Like I said, I think in our last podcast, actually, like I bought It and I bought Blade Runner, and we've only seen Blade Runner.
So, no, I mean like, yeah, that It, the producer of it.
Yeah, I knew what you were laying down. I wasn't one of those kids who's like, oh, I'm fucking confused because you're saying the word It, and I don't recognize that it's a fucking famous movie that was remade and is now still a famous movie because I guess it was good.
Now my question to you, good sir, is, do you want to play some games while we do this?
I mean, I'm playing my Switch.
Well, that's close enough. Let me hop on something.
So,
All right, I'm gonna give you the call, Tim. All right, you're gonna dictate what I play this game during this podcast.
Okay.
Ready? You're recording, I presume.
Of course.
ABC, always be doing that. You know what I mean? That's podcasting ABC right there. Always be recording.
Well,
that's APR.
Yeah.
Always be recording.
Yeah.
Because then they wouldn't have got that John Stamos Uncle Jesse comment from last week's episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. The games I have available to me are Destiny 2, obviously, Fortnite, Skyrim,
okay,
Warframe, Paladins.
Okay. Did you hear about that? Did you hear about that new Paladins?
Oh, I fucking sure did. We were going to talk about that.
Okay. Did you talk about it in your RNG cast this morning?
Yeah, a little bit. But I want to get your side. I want to hear what you have to say.
I'm real curious about it.
All right, not done.
Okay.
Fallout 4, No Man's Sky.
I mean, Zelda wasn't on there, but I assume at this point that
Jess has the Switch.
I assume every day that Switch
all the time. I literally have to be like, babe, can I do this dungeon?
You guys got a case for it yet?
We're getting that this week.
What's it fucking getting lugged around in?
I made a vinyl bag for it.
Okay, fair enough.
Listen, I can sew. Okay, the way I think of it this way: if I can sew flesh, I can sew fabric.
I mean, you're not wrong. I took an emergency stitching course, and they had us practice on like pig skin and chicken. Yeah. So I'm not great at it, but I suppose it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I'd rather have a scar than an open wound.
Yeah, exactly. Ditto.
Always remember that.
Ditto.
So, yet another thing we have in common, Tim.
Well, I'm sure you're much better at it since, you've seen combat.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I would imagine you've done it for reals.
Mm. So what game shall I be playing today? And if you want to join in, the invitation's open.
Yeah, but see, I can't because we've determined that well, I'd have to put my PS4 underneath the.
No problem. What are you playing on Switch?
I was gonna play Zelda because
Okay.
it's my whatchamacallit, the muscle reflexes,
Mm-hmm.
and I know generally, because I'm working on the master mode, the hardcore version.
Nice.
So I know what I'm doing for the most part. So, gosh,
I was doing that Battle Fury thing all day yesterday.
Battle Fury.
The when
the
you
Flurry
dodge.
Rush.
Flurry Rush.
Yeah.
I was practicing that all day yesterday.
Okay.
Because I figured, if it's in there, you might as well get good at it early.
Yeah.
And now I can pretty much do it almost. I think my longest streak was like 15, and I can do it almost every other time.
Yeah.
Like I'll dodge, but I won't.
I'm hearing a weird, like, electrical screech coming from your end, like every once in a while. Is your phone near your mic?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll move it. Hold on. Yeah, I can move it. It's far away now.
Okay.
What game should I play, Tim?
Well, what mood are you in?
Yeah, I can get down with anything. I'm gonna be honest. Dealer's choice, baby. Let's go.
Let's go Skyrim for you.
Okay.
You sound not satisfied with this choice.
No. I just want to let you know. Now, warn you. I do have a high level character. My motherfucking character is like 45.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I can definitely get down with this.
Okay. So, but why are you warning me?
Oh, I thought maybe my guess was maybe you didn't know I played a lot of Skyrim.
No, I knew you played a lot of Skyrim because you're a Bethesda whore.
Yeah, that's true. I am.
Yeah. It's surprising how many common people are Bethesda whores. Like my chiropractor told me he's a Bethesda whore. He was like, "Oh yeah, I play a shit ton of Skyrim, Fallout, love that shit." I was like, "Really, really, Doc?" But fair enough. Alrighty, so let's get this show a rolling.
Yes, sir.
And if you hear me go completely silent, it's me muting my mic and blowing my fucking nose.
Okay.
So just don't freak out. If it's like longer than like a minute, then you can be like, okay, shit, we lost him.
All right, cool.
Which, by the way, I guess they were doing upgrades on the Comcast internet like all week.
I've noticed my speed's going crazy.
Yeah, my speed's gone up actually.
Mine has too, but it was like real slow, and then it blasted up real fast, and then stepped it. It was like they were playing with the numbers. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it seems to be fine now. Like Wednesday, I was about to fucking call the people because I was like, okay, I'm getting 1 megabit a second.
Mm-hmm.
That's getting close to 56K for Christ's sake. I was like, holy shit, it's so bad. But I digress. Anyways, let's do this.
Yes, sir.
Cut in.